I'm Cameron Brio with Power Team Realty here in Moncton, New Brunswick. YouTube tells me that you're only going to watch about 1 minute and 26 seconds of this video. That's okay. Totally cool with me. If you get anything, just know that our spring market is here. The month of March really was a telltale sign that we're back in the swing of things of what we'll call a normal market cycle. By no means is this market normal. Our prices are on the rise, buyer confidence is up, immigration is on the rise, which is going to do some phenomenal things both to our workforce and economy, as well as our housing market. Now, if you have any specific questions about real estate, there is a link, the first one down below, that you and I can connect and we can chat at a time that makes sense for you. Now, diving in, this market we're seeing is more traditional of years gone by. Our market cycle seems to be into a groove. We're out of that post-pandemic time, but we are starting to see some of the craziness that was going on in COVID. Our inventory is down, there's no question about that. Consumer confidence was down for a number of months, but with the Bank of Canada's recent announcement not to raise interest rates for a period of time, we are starting to see buyer confidence come back. So there are buyers that are going to the bank to get their pre-approval. They're understanding that perhaps they can actually afford a little bit more. Their discretionary spending, I think, has gone down. They've realized that they didn't need to buy that new car. Perhaps they're going to go for the house. All of that's amazing. Shift has been a common theme within the greater Moncton real estate market for some time, as well as New Brunswick as a whole. We've seen our St. John and Fredericton markets grow. We have seen demand increase, and most recently, we've seen prices on the rise. Now, there's a lot of doom and gloom articles that are in the news. It does paint larger city centers with that brush of lowering prices and drops. Yes, we did see some drops. We have talked about that in previous months, but our home price is up. It's actually rising. So I'll throw a graphic on the screen here. And as you can see, month over month, February to March, we are up a few $1,000s. Now this is looking at all of the home price types. So semi-detached, detached, and apartment, all blended into one number that we're looking at here on screen. And this is phenomenal. It is showing a flattening of where we were last year. We had a drop off in June last year, about $50,000 from June to December. A lot of people were saying the pricing is gonna drop. We don't know where it's gonna go. It's all doom and gloom, but we do see some confidence in the market. Now, in the last couple of weeks, there has been a few key factors that have stimulated this. Now, obviously the spring market is when people do make their move. So we do see potential buyers and potential sellers really asking critical questions and diving in, getting their homes ready for sale, coming up with a plan that makes sense for them to buy a house. I should let you know that right now, the price bracket of $280 to $375 in the greater Moncton area is red hot. You have first-time home buyers entering at that price. You have downsizers entering at that price. You have lateral shifters from semi-detached to single-family home in that price. And there is a frenzy. We are back to multiple offer scenarios, and we are back to very competitive situations. In some cases, we are having offer call dates. We are having people going in with no conditions, if you can believe that. I would not recommend that to any buyer, but if you are smart about your approach, you should be able to reduce the stress. I do have a copy of a buyer's guide that I'd be more than happy to send to you. Please feel free to reach out and we can connect on that. But know that getting pre-approved and having a solid plan in place can allow you to win. The ready, aim, fire approach is always a proven way to succeed, and it certainly will help reduce stress and allow you to get the end result that you want. In some cases, if you are in a competitive situation, having a larger deposit might help. Perhaps sending your offer in with a deposit, and then a few days after your offer is accepted, increasing that amount. That's going to show the seller that you are interested in moving forward with motivation despite having a possible inspection. Now, on the selling side, there is an adage with fix versus replace. If there have been a few items on your list that you said, I'm going to replace it, I could get more money for my house. Stop right there. That is not always the case, so perhaps run those ideas past your realtor to see if it is a true value add. As I have mentioned, we have seen a bit of a frenzy in the last couple of weeks. Buyer demand is up, inventory is down, and when you compare it to our COVID times, which was an abnormal market, you can see the inventory levels on the screen here. Now, we are in a different market, but we are starting to see a market cycle. We had a bit of a slowdown, which was more representative of years before COVID, where March is your start and the months of October to, let's say, February are a little bit slower. We finally started to see that. Now, some people were reporting in the media that was because of buyer confidence. In some cases that was. However, in the greater Moncton area, there still was a demand. We were just seeing more days on market because the housing types that certain buyers were looking for simply were not available. In some cases, there were homes that were overpriced, and we started to see them become decreased prices in weekly updates. Now, these market cycles and trends are very important because we're trying to understand where we are headed. Now, New Brunswick just had a very big announcement about immigration and a push expected to see 5,000 newcomers in the next little while. And what that's going to do is potentially allow those people to take up some of the rental stock that I've talked about in previous videos. This is what is going to happen in 3, 5, 7 years when those renters become first-time home buyers. Is there going to be enough first-time home buyer stock at that price level to allow those people to enter? Now, if you compound that with the foreign buyer ban, which does not allow people to buy homes without being in the country for a minimum of 2 years, unless it's a rural type property or unless it's an investment property above 4 doors, what could happen in 2 years is something that we should be planning for now. So perhaps some of that rental stock that is geared towards single family homes like a row house or a townhouse might be the stock of house to be targeted. Now, you might have stumbled across this video for the first time. I have been putting out these monthly update videos for some time. In addition to some weekly stat updates about the greater Moncton area, it's for you. It's purely for information. I'm hoping to amalgamate some news articles and notoriety about what is making people move to Moncton. Perhaps it's helping you make an informed decision about real estate, whether that's buying or selling, or just general information about our market in terms of how you can invest. If you do have any specific questions, you can book a call with me in the first link down below at a time for you that makes sense. Thank you.